It is a little after 3 o'clock in the morning, and you are awake. The house is quiet. It is the kind of quiet that seems to press against your ears, the kind of silence that makes every small sound enormous. The low hum of the refrigerator, the faint settling of the walls, the sound of your own heartbeat, too fast in the dark. You did not choose to wake. Your eyes simply opened, and before you could stop it, before you could even draw one full breath, your mind went straight to the one it always finds at this hour: your child. Perhaps it is the empty room down the hall that woke you, the bed that was not slept in tonight. Perhaps it is the grown son who no longer calls, the daughter whose voice you have not heard in far too long. Perhaps it is the little one with the fever, breathing too quickly in the next room, and you have only just lain back down. Perhaps your child is far away now, in another city, under a different sky, and the distance feels unbearable here in the dark. Maybe you are listening for a car in the driveway that has not come. Maybe you are watching a phone that will not light up. Maybe you are turning a conversation over and over, a choice, a silence, a door that closed. Or maybe the worry has no shape at all tonight, no single cause that you could even name, only a heaviness that has settled over your chest and will not lift. Whatever it was that brought you here, you know this hour, the 3 o'clock hour, the hour when the mind grows loud and the whole world grows silent, the hour when every fear that you hold back during the daylight comes quietly to collect what it believes it is owed. I want you to know something before we go one step further. You are not the first to keep watch in the dark. There was once a woman who knew this hour better than almost anyone who has ever lived. She spent more of her nights awake than asleep. For years, long, grinding, tear-soaked years, she lay in the dark and prayed for a child who had wandered far from everything she had ever taught him. She wept until there were no tears left in her, and then, somehow, she wept again. You will hear her name very soon. For now, hold on to only this. You are in company older and greater than you know, and you are not keeping this watch alone. So before we continue, let your shoulders come down from wherever they have crept up near your ears. Let them simply fall. There. Breathe in now, slowly, gently, through your nose, and let it go, long and soft and unhurried, out through your lips. Once more, breathe in and let it out. Let this breath be the first prayer of the night, the prayer your body offers up when your mind is far too tired to find the words. Now, let us begin. You may have been lying here telling yourself that you ought to be asleep, that a sensible person would have drifted off hours ago, that this worry is foolish, that you are too old for this, or too tired for this, that you ought to be stronger than the fear that has you by the chest. Let that go too. There is no shame in being awake for someone you love, none at all. The heart of a parent does not keep office hours. It does not clock out at midnight and rest until the dawn. It was made to watch, and to wait, and to carry. And tonight, in the dark, it is simply doing the very thing it was made to do. Loving is not a malfunction. Your wakefulness is not a weakness. It is love, still burning, when everything else has gone quiet. So we are not going to fight the wakefulness tonight. We are not going to lie here resenting it or scolding ourselves for it. Instead, we are going to do something far older and far gentler and far more powerful. We are going to take this restless hour and we are going to turn it into a vigil. We are going to gather up all of this worry, all of this love that has nowhere to go, and we are going to place it slowly into the hands of the one who is already awake. Because here is the truth that the darkness most wants you to forget tonight. You are not the only one watching over your child. There is a very old song. It was sung long ago by people who walked dangerous roads through high mountains in the dark toward a city that they loved. As they walked, they sang of the one who watches over them. They sang that he never grows drowsy, but he never dozes, that he has no need to close his eyes, not even for a single moment. While the whole of the world is sleeping, he keeps watch. The sun will not strike you by day, their song promised, nor the moon by night. He will guard your coming and your going from this night and forevermore. Stay with that for a moment. Let it sink down past your fear into the very place where you are most afraid. Right now, at this exact hour, while you lie here in the dark with your heart pounding, God is awake. He is not waiting for the morning. He is not resting until it is time to deal with the troubles of the day. He is awake, and his gaze is already resting upon your child, in that empty room, in that far-off city, in that quiet hospital, on that road. Wherever your fear has placed them tonight, he is already there, watching over them, with a love that makes yours look like a single candle held up beside the sun. You did not have to wake him. You did not have to raise your voice to gain his attention. He was already there. He was watching over your child, long before you ever opened your eyes tonight. He was watching before this worry was even born, and he has never once looked away. I promised you a name. Let me give it to you now. Her name was Monica. She lived many centuries ago in a warm land along the northern coast of Africa. She was a mother, and she had a son who was clever and charming and full of fire, and utterly, heartbreakingly lost. He chased after every pleasure that he could find. He took up ideas that cut her to the heart. He lied to her. And once he even slipped away from her onto a ship in the night, sailing off across the sea to escape her watchful love, leaving her weeping alone on the shore at dawn. And what did Monica do with all of that grief? She prayed, night after night after night after night. She did not nag her son into faith. She could not argue him home. She could not force his heart open by the sheer strength of her own will. And at last she came to understand that. So instead, she knelt down in the dark and she carried him to God. Again and again and again, for the better part of 17 long years. 17 years. If you have been awake at this hour for a single week, or for a month, or for far longer than you can any longer bear to count, then Monica understands you completely. She knows the exact ache of loving someone whom you cannot fix. She knows what it is to watch your own child walk slowly toward the edge of something dangerous, and to stand there, utterly powerless to pull him back. And she knows, better than almost anyone who has ever lived, what it is to keep praying anyway. Not because the answer comes quickly. It did not come quickly for her. But because love, real love, simply does not know how to stop. Her son's name was Augustine, and that lost, wandering, heartbreaking young man grew at last to become one of the wisest and most beloved teachers the Church has ever known. He turned his whole life toward God, and he wrote, many years afterward, that he owed it all to the mother who would not stop weeping for him before the Lord. Not one of those tears was wasted, not a single one. So tonight, you are in the very best of company. When you pray for your child in the dark, you do not pray alone. Saint Monica is not far from you. And notice, gently, what it is that she does. She does not send help down from a distance as though she were issuing commands. She does something far more tender than that. She prays alongside you. She asks God together with you on behalf of your child. One mother's worn and faithful heart joining its quiet voice to yours. And there is another who keeps watch with you tonight. Long ago, in a small and ordinary house in a village called Nazareth, there lived a man named Joseph. He was a carpenter. He was a quiet man. The pages of Scripture do not record for us a single word that he ever spoke. But he was a father in every way that truly matters. And it is worth noticing that some of the most important things this good man ever did, he did at night. When danger came searching for the child placed in his care, it was in the dark that Joseph was warned. While the whole household lay sleeping, he was told to rise at once, to take the child and the child's mother, and to flee to safety in a distant land. And Joseph did not wait for the comfort of morning. He did not wait until the hour was convenient, or the road was clear, or his own fear had quieted. He rose in the dark, and he carried the child to safety through the night. That is the love that watches at 3 o'clock in the morning. The love that rises in the dark for the sake of a child. The love that does not wait for the daylight in order to act. The quiet, unglamorous, faithful love that simply does the next thing that must be done and trusts God for all the rest. Saint Joseph knows this hour too, the hour of the watchful Father. Tonight, he keeps the watch beside you, and you may ask him gently to do for your own child something like what he once did for the child entrusted to his care. To keep watch over them, to stand near them in the dark, to ask God to surround them this very night with protection on every side. And there is one more picture that I want to place into your tired hands before this night is through. Perhaps it is the one that you need most of all. There was a father in a story that Jesus once told. This father had a son who took everything that he had been given and left. He walked away toward a distant country, and he wasted all of it, and he sank as low as a person can sink. And all that long while, the father did not chase him down. He could not. A heart cannot be dragged home against its will. So instead, the father watched the road. Every single day, that father looked down the long road that had carried his boy away. He watched in the morning. He watched in the evening. And I have no doubt at all that he watched in the deep middle of the night, exactly as you are watching now. He kept his eyes upon the horizon, holding on to a hope that everyone else had surely told him to lay down. And then, one day, the story tells us that while the sun was still a long, long way off, the father saw him. He had been watching for so long that he recognized his child while he was still only a distant shape upon the road. And the father did not wait. He ran. He gathered up that ragged, broken, returning child into his arms, and he wept, and he would not let go. That Father is a picture of God. That is the heart that is watching over your child tonight, right there alongside you. A heart that never stops searching the horizon. A heart that is ready at any moment to run. So when you watch the road for your own child tonight, know that you are watching beside the one who has never once left the window. And he sees what you cannot see. He sees them while they are still a long way off. And there is something even more astonishing that I want you to hold tonight. On the last night before he gave his life, Jesus himself kept a watch in the dark. He went out into a quiet garden among the olive trees, and his heart was so heavy with sorrow that he could scarcely stand beneath the weight of it. He knew what was coming, and he did not want to be alone in it. So he turned to the friends closest to him, and he asked them, gently, whether they could not stay awake and keep watch with him, even for a single hour. He knows this hour. The Lord himself knows what it is to be awake in the dark while others sleep, to carry a weight far too heavy for one heart, to long for the comfort of company through the longest part of the night. So when you keep your watch tonight, you are not far from him. You are close to him. You are doing the very thing that he once asked of those he loved most. You are keeping watch for 1 hour with the Lord who kept watch for us all. So you are not merely waiting for God to act tonight. You are keeping company with him. Your sleepless love has quietly become a kind of fellowship with the one who loved sleeplessly first. So let us change now how we hold this hour. You did not wake by accident. Perhaps, and I say this very gently, perhaps your heart was stirred awake tonight because there was praying to be done. And you are the one who loves this child enough to do it. Perhaps this is not an affliction at all. Perhaps it is an invitation to keep watch alongside the God who never sleeps, to join your own small, tired, faithful vigil to his great and tireless one. You cannot be everywhere that your child is. You cannot follow them into every room, every choice, every danger, every dark. No parent who has ever lived could do that. And that powerlessness is its own deep grief, and it is always sharpest at this hour, when there is nothing left to do, and no one left awake to call. But hear this clearly, in the very center of your worry. What you cannot do, God can. Where you cannot go, he is already standing. The love that you would pour out over your child, if only you could reach them right now. He is pouring out over them at this very moment, in a fuller and a deeper measure than you, with all of your love, could ever manage on your own. There is another old prayer, sung up out of the very depths of the night by someone who could not sleep for the weight upon his soul. And he said that his soul waited for the Lord, more than the watchman waits for the morning. More, he said, than the watchman waits for the morning. Picture that watchman with me for a moment. He stands upon the high wall of the city, in the deepest and the coldest part of the night. He is bone-tired. He aches for the first thin line of grey light to appear in the east. But he does not abandon his post. He does not lie down. He keeps the watch. because he trusts with everything in him that the morning is coming. It always comes. In all of the long history of the world, the night has never once won. Not even one time. The morning has always come. Tonight, you are that watchman upon the wall. You are tired. You ache for the morning. And the dark feels very long. But the morning is coming. For you and for your child. As surely as it has come every single day since the beginning of the world. It is coming again now. It is already on its way. And now we come to the very heart of this prayer. The hardest and the holiest thing that a parent can ever do is this: to open the hands that have been clenched so very tightly, and to give the child back to God. Not to give up, never that. Hear the difference clearly. We are not giving up. We are giving over. And there is a whole world of difference between those two things. So let us do it now, together, slowly. Picture your child. See their face. Picture them at whatever age your heart aches for most tonight. As a small one, perhaps, asleep and trusting in your arms, or exactly as they are right now, wherever in this dark world they may be. Hold that face gently in your mind. Do not rush. And now, slowly, I want you to picture your own two hands. The hands that have held this child since the very beginning. The hands that fed them. The hands that steadied their first wobbling steps. The hands that reached out for them in every single fall. Picture those hands, even now, cupped and curved around the one you love. And then, gently, I want you to open them. Not in defeat, in trust. You are not letting your child drop. You are placing them, carefully, into hands that are far stronger and far surer than your own have ever been. The very hands that have held every star in its place since the foundation of the world. The same hands that were once stretched out and pierced out of love for this exact child of yours. And if you can, even in only a whisper, even silently in the deepest room of your heart, pray these words with me now. I cannot carry this alone tonight, so I give them to you. I give you my son. I give you my daughter. Watch over the one whom I cannot reach. Hold the one whom I cannot hold. Go where I cannot follow. And let me rest, knowing that you are awake. There, it is done. You have just done the bravest and the most loving thing that a parent can do in the dark. You have trusted your most precious one to the only one who can truly keep them. And now, the watch is no longer yours alone to keep. You are allowed to set it down for a while. You have not abandoned your child by resting. You have not stopped loving them by closing your eyes. You have simply trusted someone far greater than yourself to take the next long hours of the watch, so that you may be strong again when the morning comes. So let your body grow heavy now. Let go. Let the bed take the full weight that you have been carrying all night inside your chest. Feel the place where your head rests upon the pillow. Feel your hands lying open now and still. Feel your breath, which has already begun to slow, all on its own, quietly, while we prayed together in the dark. Breathe in once more, slowly, and as you let the breath go, let a little more of the worry go out along with it. You do not have to solve anything tonight. You do not have to fix anything before the sun comes up. There is nothing more that is required of you in this hour, except to rest. The God who never slumbers is keeping watch. Saint Monica is praying there beside you. Saint Joseph is standing guard in the dark. The Father is watching the road, and he will run the very moment your child appears. And the morning is already on its way to you. It cannot be stopped. So rest now, faithful one. You have loved well tonight, even in your fear, especially in your fear. May the Lord bless your child and keep them. May he let the light of his face shine upon them in all the places that you cannot see. May he look upon them with kindness and upon you also, and give to both of you his peace, the deep peace that the world can neither give nor take away. And may you, dear parent, close your tired eyes now, and at last be allowed to sleep. The watch is kept, the child is held, and all is well. Breathe and rest now. The morning is coming. It always comes.